Good morning, we're gonna get started. This is 60 minutes of advanced yoga. And advanced, I've had a couple of people reach out this week and ask if I thought that their skill level made them qualify for this class. I really think all yoga is very accessible to any level as long as you have the mindset of I'm trying new things today, I want to see where my resistance is to certain positions and parts of my body, and I'm okay with sitting down, taking a break, or coming out of a pose sooner than the teacher tells me to. With those things and you being smart about uncomfortable positions, hopefully with the right cues and a template on my part, this class should be very accessible for you. If you've never seen any type of inversion practice before, just give it a shot. It's easy to do because we're at home, so there's no pressure of people seeing you fall over or just not even able to clear the ground. Be able to laugh at yourself a little bit, and I promise you that we've all started at that level, and with the right attention to it, you can work your way up pretty fastly. So, Dr. Marina Mangano here. This is 60 minutes of advanced yoga flow. We're going to start in child's pose today. So, on your mat, knees out wide to the side, toes touch in the center. Either staying high in your child's pose or walking forward all the way so that your hips sink backward and your hands fall forward. It's early, so if this position is a little uncomfortable for you, maybe take the hip crease, the soft tissue, and roll it outward as you then hip hinge over it. Or press down into the tops of the feet to give you a little bit of lift through the front body, and then altering your tailbone height by dunking or reverse dunking your low back, and then find your nice neutral posture. Using this chance to start to just pay attention to your breath for the day. We're going to start practicing a little bit of an Ujjayi breath, which is a power oceanic breath. Your lips will stay closed, but you'll inhale through your nose. Exhale also through your nose, so it sounds like an ocean, and it's very suiting for our island here, but it's going to sound like the waves if you're doing it correctly. So lips closed, big deep breath in through the nose, and then as you're exhaling, push your tongue on the top of the hard palate, right behind the front row of your teeth. So you'll hear that kind of loud, audible breath even though your mouth is closed. And that's going to add a little bit of resistance to your air passage and start to create some pressure and some heat through the belly, preparing you for more of a power class. Walk yourself up a little bit higher if you're in that low child's pose to this forearm style of child's pose. Bring your knees right underneath the hips. Pressure on the top of the feet. We're going to add a very gentle cat-cow to this. So not through the mid-back, but through the pelvis. So you're not going to be able to move too much. But as you inhale, let the tailbone rise towards the ceiling, belly button falls. Exhale, tuck the tailbone and bring the belly button towards the spine. We're not squeezing and narrowing the stomach, just let the pelvis move the belly. Few rounds of that. Keep the feet on the mat. Try not to shrug through the shoulders, long ears, back of the neck, gaze is down. Good, you're gonna add a little side to side. So as you inhale, kind of side bend over to the right, so your right ear is closer to your right hip. Exhale, back to neutral. Inhale, side bend, left hip hikes so it gets closer to your ear as your neck leans that way. Exhale, neutral. One more time, both sides. Push through your opposite elbow. Good, and then come up to the hands. We're going to let the the mid-back actually be a little free here and add to that movement. So full cat-cow as you inhale, drop the belly down, let the ribs open up as you look towards the ceiling. Exhale, tuck the tailbone first and then roll one vertebra at a time up to your mid-back. Shift your weight forward, tuck the chin. Inhale, shift the weight back, look up. Exhale, cat. Inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Stay in cat. Shift your weight forward, press on the tops of the feet, lift the knees a few inches. Staying here for 3 strong breaths. Inhale, drop the knees, tuck the toes underneath. This time look up. As you exhale, walk your hands back and sit up on the feet. So maybe come around and tuck the tiny toe underneath so you can feel the entire arch releasing. Adding some weight side to side, opening through the arch. We're going to add our cat-cow into this posture. So as you inhale, open the belly, look up, shoulder blades come back. Exhale, push the arms forward, round. Inhale, pull the elbows. Exhale, push. Really feeling the arches. Inhale, open, heels heavy on the sitting bones. Exhale, push, almost so much that your quads lift you off the hamstrings a little bit. And holding that contraction for 3, 2, 1. Drop the heels, inhale, look up. Exhale, bring the hands overhead. Right arm comes down behind the spine. Left hand comes around. And see if you can find a little bit of that touch, that bind there. If you have a block or a strap or a belt, it's a great time to put those two together. Maybe staying on the arch of the feet for 1 second longer. Adding a little side to side, turning both ways. Or that cat-cow with your shoulders involved. Opening up multiple parts of the body at once. Inhale, both hands up towards the ceiling. Exhale, switch sides. Left hand comes down behind the back. Right hand's coming around underneath. And this could be a different story on this side. Maybe you have a little bit more trouble getting there. Wherever you reach today is wonderful. Try not to be super arched or leaning forward. Bring the ears back into the upper hand and the rib cage back over the pelvis. For 2 breaths. And then you can add some cat-cow movements, a little side to side, rotation. And I think we're ready. Inhale, both hands overhead. Exhale, drop the hands down to the ground. Walk your feet back a little bit farther. Up to the tops of the feet. Left leg is going to shoot back behind you. The toes are tucked on this one. Shift your weight forward so each finger has good pressure on they're all facing forward. As you inhale, hover the right knee up off the ground, pushing your low back towards the ceiling. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Big breath in. Exhale, tap back down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, tap. Inhale, push up. Exhale, tap. Walk your foot back about 2 inches, that straight leg, and you're really driving that heel. As you inhale, push up, hover the knee. Exhale, tap right knee to right elbow, and then right knee to right wrist. Inhale, back to neutral. Exhale, drop. One more time, opposite side though. Inhale, hover that right knee. Exhale, left elbow, tap. Left wrist tap. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, drop. Bring the left knee forward so you're in this high lunge posture. We're going to open up that hip that we just kind of fatigued out. Make sure you're on the top of the feet. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, elbows to your side. Lean all the way forward. Inhale, push through that front heel, arms overhead. Exhale, elbows to your side. Maybe a little lion's breath. That audible, loud exhale. One more time. Exhale. Hold right here, pushing through that back foot. Feeling the whole front hip flexor start to open up. Drop your hands down. Switch that left foot back to right underneath your hip. And now right leg's gonna go long. Tuck the right toes underneath. Reposition yourself through the hands. Shift your weight forward, breath in. Exhale, push the back towards the sky, hover the left knee. 3 strong breaths. And drop back down to the mat, breath in. Exhale, press the back towards the ceiling. Inhale, drop. Exhale, press the back. Inhale, drop. Exhale, press the back. Inhale, drop. Take a second. If you need to break off the hands, grab it. As you exhale, hover. Inhale, touch the left knee to left elbow. And then down to the wrist. Exhale, back to center. Drop the knee. Inhale, hover that left knee. Exhale, tap right elbow. Right wrist. Inhale, neutral. Exhale, release. Right foot's going to come forward now into this high runner's lunge. Coming all the way up with the hands. Inhale, overhead. Exhale, elbows to side, let it out. Inhale, push to that back foot. Exhale, let it out. Keep going, your own flowing pace here. Last one. Hold there. Push to that back foot to just give you a little bit of that lift, activating the whole hip flexor. Bringing your hands forward. Walk both of your feet back. Go through your first vinyasa transition of the day. So high to low plank, elbows at your side, chaturanga. Flip the feet, inhale, cobra. Exhale, safe, strong plank, then flip to down dog. First down dog of the day. Go ahead, take a few breaths. Play around in this one a little bit. Pedaling through the feet, shaking the head, yes or no. Maybe bringing one knee to chest. And just feeling how when you move the opposite leg in the air, different parts of that foundational foot and the back of the calf are getting stretched. So as we add movement into our foundational yoga poses, we understand how muscles work together, how joints work together, and how fascia, the lining around muscle groups, is actually connected throughout the entire distant body, even if it's not in the same area. Finding a little bit of stationary aspect in your downward facing dog. Inhale, bend the knees deeply. High hips. Exhale, fold forward to plank. Inhale, down dog. Exhale, bend the knees deeply. And then long exhale to that plank. So inhale, down dog. Slow exhale because you're going to bend the knees first. And then propel into a plank. One more time. Breath in, down dog. Exhale, bend the knees. Shoot forward, high plank. Holding for 3, 2, 1. Switching over to right hand. Inhale, side plank to the left. Left hand looks up towards the ceiling. Maybe the gaze follows. Breath in. Exhale, neutral. Strong feet. Inhale, switching sides. Opening up towards the ceiling as you exhale, get long and tall. Stacking the feet or dropping this bottom knee if you need a kickstand. Breath in. Exhale, hands at neutral. Go through a vinyasa. Flipping, inhale. Exhale, press back down dog. Inhale, bend the heels, look forward. Exhale, hop or float or walk to the front of your mat. As you land in a halfway lift, breath in. Exhale and fold. A little flowing here. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. It's early, so your back doesn't maybe want to bend so well. We're not going to force it. Keep going. Inhale, get strong through the arches. Exhale, imagine your weight moving more forward than it behind the heels. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold, using the legs to help pull you down, maybe not toward your legs. So just a little bit more forward and down. One more time. Inhale, halfway lift, strong arches, traction the feet away from each other. Exhale, we're going to fold and stay for just a little bit. So interlace the hands in between the arms. If you have any motion, pedaling through the feet, if that feels okay in the back. Trying to stay low with the belly. So as you inhale and you bring your foot up, try not to round and arch away from it. That's going to tell you if you can maintain that hip hinge. So trying to stay low and still finding movement for the hips to flex and the ankles to point. Good. Maybe rotating side to side. Drop the left hand down, bend the left knee, open up to the right. Preparing for half moon pose in our next sequence. Dropping the right hand, bend the right knee. Inhale, left arm twist open. Dropping all the way down. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant the hands. Walk your hands forward to the front of the mat and then your feet back all the way to a high plank. We're going to practice just a little bit of some transitions before we go into our next sequence. So as you shift forward and you go through your chaturanga, make sure that you're not collapsing through the neck and looking forward. So gaze is down, feet come forward, slow, controlled, so there's no gully between the spine. Then, right before your whole body touches, you flip the feet, drop the belly, only look up after your belly button has cleared the ground, and then safe plank up on the tops of the feet, back to down dog. So go through that really slow, controlled one time. It's actually harder the more controlled and more precise you are. So as that may not seem advanced to you, the activation and the cues will make it so. Beautiful. Inhale, right heel towards the ceiling. Look forward. Exhale, step in between the fingers. Drop the left knee back. Inhale, both hands overhead. Exhale, elbows to side. Lion's breath. Inhale, up. Exhale, hands to heart. Push through that right heel so you're a little taller. Inhale, twist open to the left. Exhale, center. Inhale, open to the right. Exhale, center. Inhale, shift at the hip hinge your weight forward and walk your knee back a little bit. Right hand can come to the inside of the foot as your left hand comes around to try to find a little bit of contact with your foot or your ankle. Strong torso facing forward, kicking into the hand. Make sure you're above the kneecap, so I'm not right on top of the knee. My weight's actually forward, so I'm on my thigh. If you have that range and you want to come around with both hands, long back of the neck. Ears in line with the shoulders. Kindly drop that knee, and then all the weight shifts back to a half split. Front leg becomes a straight point or a pull. If you want to stay higher, you can. As long as those hips are square with the front of your mat. Bring the hands to frame that right foot. High lunge here. Shoot right back to three-legged dog. And then bend and stack that knee, opening through the hip. Try to keep as much weight as you can through the right shoulder. Because we're going to release and drop this right foot to the outside of your mat. Wild thing pose. Shooting the hips towards the ceiling. Maybe walking that foot in a little bit higher if you don't feel enough of that back bend. Right hand swinging around back to the mat as you find three-legged dog. Breath in. Roll forward, three-legged plank. Go through your vinyasa. And then switching sides. Right foot down. Inhale, left heel towards the ceiling. Look forward. Exhale, step in between the hands. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, up overhead. Breath in. Exhale, elbows to your side. Lion's breath. Inhale, higher plank here. Higher lunge, excuse me. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale, twist open to the right. Exhale, center. Straight arms. Inhale, twist open to the left. Exhale, center. Inhale, shifting your weight forward. Finding whatever support you need on the ground. If you want to be on the outside of the foot, I prefer the inside of the foot, and I walk my heel toe my foot out a little bit just so I can create a bind in between the tricep and the arm. Right now, if I was to bend my back leg, I'd be right on the kneecap, which is not ideal for function or maintenance. So tuck the toes under, straighten the leg, move back a little bit further from your front foot, then bend at the knee. So now my fulcrum, my pressure is above the kneecap. Left hand stays down, right hand comes around, looking for any type of touch, maybe on the heel, top of the foot, the shin. Right now your right shoulder is probably really twisted open. Try to bring your torso back square with the front of the mat. Front hand can do whatever you like if you don't need it for the ground. Breathing in, kicking into the hand as the hand's pulling. Maybe if you have that range, you can grab around. Slowly dropping out, half split. I like to tuck the back toes just to give me that arch activation and an arch stretch. Dropping heavy into this hip hinge so my torso is still at the sharp angle. I'm not rounding. Actually, the shoulder blades come down the back to permit that hip hinge. Shifting your weight forward, hands come down. Three-legged dog, left heel towards the ceiling, breath in. Exhale, stack and open the hips. Maybe adding a little circle if you need to. Good pressure through the left shoulder though. Look where you're going. Look to the outside of your right mat. Make sure you have a safe space for the left foot to fall behind you as you straighten your right leg into wild thing. Hand can come overhead or point forward. Feeling that opening through the whole front body. Trusting the feet to balance you. Look down to see where you're going first. Bend through the knees. Left hand reaches the ground as you shoot back. Three-legged dog. Breath in. Exhale, three-legged vinyasa if you like the challenge. And then 3 breaths in a strong downward facing dog. If you added a lot of playful movement earlier, I really like to do that in between each round just so you can already see how much change is possible after just a few minutes. Inhale, the heels high, look forward. Exhale, bend the knees, hop or walk. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. We're going to stay in fold for a few breaths. Maybe walk the feet out wide to go into a little bit more of a gorilla fold. So a forward fold will be pretty hip width distance. A gorilla fold will be a little bit wider. Palms come underneath the feet, facing upward. And I like to add a little flow to this. So inhale, half lift with your bind. Exhale, bend and fold. Deep bend in the knees and elbows. Elbows go wide, knees come forward. If you're not a gorilla fan, just hang in your forward fold and work on flicking your tailbones towards the ceiling at the same time as your sacrum tips backward. So it's a really weird locking mechanism, but that's going to propel you forward and then give you that full back body activation. Three breaths. Bend the knees, inhale, chair pose, sit the hips back. Exhale, come up on the toes, airplane arms. Inhale, chair. Exhale, fly. Inhale, chair. Exhale, hands to heart. Right elbow comes to left knee, twisted chair. Look down, make sure that right knee's not shooting too far forward. It should come back into alignment and send the hips high, just to create that space for your knees. If that's not enough of a challenge for you, then you can practice that really low hip. Nothing has changed from my angle with my back. That's just a different bend in the knees. Straightening the arms. If you have a little bit extra room to play with. Inhale, chair pose, almost there. Exhale, opposite twist. If you need to straighten the legs, take a break, please do so. Make sure that left knee is not super rotated forward. Pull it back into the straight line with your right knee. Hips can be as high or as low as you feel like you need a challenge today. Straightening the arms if you want to play. Swing it around. Inhale, chair pose, sweep, sweep burn. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, try to fly the toes, but keep your hands on the shins. So heels are coming up, strong half lift. Exhale, heels down. Pull the shoulder blades back, ears long. Inhale, shift and fly. Exhale, drop the hands to the ground. Inhale, shift your weight forward, heels come high, same thing. Exhale, drop. If you have inversion in your practice and you'd like to practice a little bit of handstand, this is your time. If you've never done handstands before or cannot even fathom doing that, we're going to work into a little bit of just some hops, some play, some challenges for you. So every finger is facing forward. You'll find you have one leg that you trust a little bit more to start as your foundation. This is my leg. As you shift your weight forward, you can't hunch the shoulders. Wrap the shoulder blades down around on your ribs as your heel presses. So this right here would be a great strengthening exercise mentally as well, just to trust the weight on your hands. If you want to try a little hop, Back leg stays straight. Front knee bends. And just do a few hops. Trying to get the shoulders over the hands. If that feels weird to you, maybe add a little bit of a scissor kick just to give you that weightless feeling. So you're switching legs mid-air. And then come all the way down. I'll take a little bit of a break in child's pose. So if you're watching this class later, pause, take a break, and try a few rounds of that. I find you have to be in the right mindset to practice the lightness of inversion. So if you're having a really heavy day and you're just not feeling physically or energetically light, it's hard to jump in and start practicing strengthening inversions. So make sure you're blending it into an entire class, first of all, because the classes, the balance and the transition of the energy is built into different poses of a class, so that by the time you do get to the inversion portion, you're a little bit more balanced, symmetrical, and there's that even shift of mentality and focus. So at Ashtanga practice, all of the headstands that they do at the end, it's amazing to feel so light after such a physical, challenging practice. So in child's pose, just find a little bit of relaxation for just a moment, catch your breath. Come forward up to the hands and knees. Inhale, lift your left arm open towards the ceiling. Exhale, thread the needle. That's going to come through your right hand, fall down to the back of the left shoulder. And make sure the hips didn't go too far to the right. Bring your hips back to the left, so they're right over the center of your mat. If that's not enough stretch for you, you can point the right toe towards the ceiling. Try to keep the leg there, look down, coming forward to a cross crawl bird dog position. Left arms forward, right leg behind you. Reaching around to complete the full flexion to extension. Kick into the hand. And releasing to switch sides. Shake out that right hip. Right hand stays down left hand stays down and strong. Inhale your right arm towards the ceiling. Exhale, twist through, thread the needle, laying on the back of the shoulder. Good pressure through the top of the right foot as you kick your left leg into the air. Now, since you know where we're going, make sure that left hand is in an advantageous position to then stabilize you as you shift your weight forward into that bird dog posture. Bend the knee, heel towards the ceiling, reach around. If you need to rearrange the hand, kick into the foot, pull the chest forward. And tuck the toes underneath. Go through a little transitional vinyasa here. So high plank, low plank, flip the feet, low cobra. Exhale, down dog. Finish that out. Feels nice to be on the ground after all those inversions. Left foot strong. Inhale your right heel towards the ceiling. Exhale, look forward, tap the right elbow down to the right wrist. Inhale, shoot back, right heel rises. Exhale, switch sides, left elbow, left wrist. Inhale, back one more time. Exhale, bring the right knee to right wrist, but the foot comes up into pigeon pose. So trying to be as square as possible with the front of your mat. You'll probably need to walk the back foot to create a little bit of this opening. Peek behind you if you're not familiar with pigeon pose. Peek behind you, make sure that leg is parallel to the mat so it's not shooting off to the side. Walk it in so it's right behind you, and then turn your whole torso towards the front. You can have blocks here to hold under your hands or up under the right glute if you're nowhere near the ground. You want to be able, with your support, to at least allow your body weight to relax into the posture. So if you're up here and you're so uncomfortable, use pillows, use books, use whatever you can to at least get your hips facing forward. That's going to be a great step for today. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, walk your hands down to your forearms. We started off with cat-cows today, and we're going to use them in this posture too, to kind of floss the hips, floss the low back. If this feels really harsh on your right knee, make sure that this foot is at the correct height for you. If you bring it back a little bit, it will be kinder to your right hip. But if you're trying to move yourself forward, but you have that pain in your knee, imagine sucking your knee into your pelvis. So almost as if your left heel is going to get closer to the front of the mat, and that will pull your right knee back towards your pelvis, creating a deeper hip hinge. But then you have to keep the muscle contraction to keep that there. Inhale, baby cat-cow, drop the belly, look forward. Exhale, push to the elbows and round. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Leave the left forearm down. Try to twist open to the right. If that's not possible, maybe you can create a little bind between your foot and your elbow, and that will help propel you into that direction. Switching sides. Now right elbow is going to push right into the inside of that knee as you turn open to the left. Coming back down. Maybe heel toe your knee a little bit more in the center of the mat. Inhale, squeeze the glutes towards each other, up towards midline for 3, 2, big breath in, bring that knee back into place. Exhale, fall into your full expression today of pigeon pose. And once you're in that position, I know it's uncomfortable and you feel all the different stages of muscles starting to freak out, joints freaking out, and then your brain goes, your breath goes. So focus on the breath. That's how we can control the transition between what the body and the mind are fighting. So the low belly breath is trying to expand and collapse. And each time that you do that, think about higher parts of the belly trying to reach for that thigh. Good. 2 of your deepest breaths. Hang in there. And then slowly walk yourself out. Sit on the right glute to bring your legs around. We're going to go into an extension to reverse that pressure. Once you feel ready, straighten the legs. Fingers facing forward, strong on the heels, reverse plank. Toes are pointing down, hips come up. Drop the feet, flex the toes. Inhale, hands up towards the ceiling. Staff pose. Exhale, fold and just touch. Inhale, come all the way up. Fold and touch. One more time. And touch. Beautiful. Cross over the legs as we step forward back to a downward facing dog. Pedaling once more through the feet. Your hips may feel all sorts of uneven right now. We're gonna even it out. Good pressure through the right foot, left leg up towards the ceiling, breath in. Look forward, exhale, tap left knee, left wrist. Inhale, back up. Exhale, switching sides, knee to right elbow, right wrist, back up. Exhale, knee to left wrist, bring the foot over to your right wrist for pigeon pose. Walk yourself back with the back foot. Try to be on the top of that foot. And again, look behind, make sure it's not shooting off to the side. You're going to bring it back right into center. And if that's really uncomfortable for your knee, you may be a little bit higher than ideal, whether that's due to hip flexors flexibility or just haven't walked back far enough. So if you can, tuck the toes, pull your heel back and then lay your knee down. Or maybe putting like a blanket or something under the knee. Another thing that we could add on to our pigeon pose, we did on the other side, is pushing down through the top of your right knee and the outside of the left knee. And that's going to lift you up. Squeeze the glutes inward toward each other for 5, 4, 3, 2, big breath in. Exhale, sink it out. Try to walk yourself a little bit further. You'll get a little bit more range each time. We're doing something called PIR. We are fatiguing out the muscles that we want to tell to calm down and let us stretch them. So one more time, pushing in and up. You see me kind of rise up a little bit because I'm activating the muscles of my glutes and my legs. For 5, 4, 3, 2, big breath in. And exhale, maybe you get a little bit further space. Walk your hands down to your forearms. Just find this new posture here. Be kind to it if it is what we would say worse than your other side. I call this my focus side, not my bad side, because this is my strong hip. It is the hip that I had to focus all my weight on for many months after a hip surgery on the right. And so because it is stronger, it doesn't bend as well. So it has a lot more stability in the joint, and it just needs a little bit more coaxing to remind my brain and my body that we're fine. We can be symmetrically balanced, and please let me stretch the side. And to do that, I add these subtle flowing motions into yoga poses. So nothing's worse than sitting in a pose, not moving, and freaking out because it's so uncomfortable. So sway side to side, add a little cat-cow. Leave your right hand down, twist your left arm up towards the ceiling. Keep breathing into that tension, all the tightness that you're feeling. Switching sides. Left elbow pushes the inside of the knee as the right arm twists forward. Coming back down. The value of all those movements in the same pose is because I keep saying the word flossing. It's imagine certain muscle fibers only work in perfect directions. So if we only stay in one position, we can only release the muscles that are in that same plane of direction. So when we twist open or we cat-cow, we're catching other groups of muscles to help them transfer and slide past each other more efficiently and just effortlessly. Good, so find your full expression of pigeon. I'm going to stay here today just because out of comfort. Maybe you walk all the way down and try to relax the head on the mat. Whatever you do, relax the eyes down towards the mat. Back of the neck is long. Shoulders towards the hips. Keep breathing. Remember that belly breath is trying to find contact with the leg. And for those of you having a little bit of outside knee pain, maybe pull your foot closer towards you or use the muscles to suck this thigh bone back closer to your hip crease. That will make your right heel feel shorter, closer to your head. Walking your hands up, sit over the glutes, bring both your legs forward. Whew. Maybe shake the hips out, and however you need to. Legs are going to go long. Rack the legs a little bit just to calm down the muscles of the hip. And we are going to go crossing over the feet. Restoring, we'll do extension in the air in one moment. Strong high plank, breath in, vinyasa. Exhale, cobra or upward facing dog. Push back, downward facing dog. Inhale your right heel towards the ceiling. Look forward, exhale, step through, rise up, warrior one. Back foot drops about 45 degrees compared to the front foot. Inhale, hands to heart center. Exhale, open warrior two. Back foot parallel to the back of the mat. We were practicing for this earlier, this half moon pose. So prepare by shifting your weight forward, strong foot. And we're already kind of open, so we're trying to stay. Imagine you're a big card, like a queen of hearts, and you're just tipping over in this plane. Strong right leg, my hand's going to either the block, the ground, and the toes of the high hip are still facing forward, which is going to try to get my sternum to follow suit. Another card reference. Slow and controlled, bending through that front knee. Find yourself back in warrior two. Breath in, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse it. Cargo through the hands, switching sides. Add one vinyasa in the middle if you'd like. If you need a couple extra push-ups, now's the time. Inhale your left leg towards the ceiling. Exhale, step through, rise, warrior one. Back foot's down at a 45-degree angle. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, switch open to warrior two. So back foot now is in back of line, parallel to the back of the mat. We're going into half moon on this side. So shifting your weight forward, imagine bringing this thigh bone back to the back of the mat. Almost enough though that you can still use your foot. If you're too far behind your foot, you're not going to be able to spring. So bending the knee allows me to activate the arch and start to pull muscles up as we prepare to spring forward in this plane of motion. Letting the toes dictate the rest of the upper body twist. Gaze can be on the ground for balance or looking all the way up towards the ceiling. Bend through the front knee, slowly coming back to warrior two. Breath in, flip the palm. Exhale, reverse. This time, start to walk your hands down to the front leg And then rotate them around to the side, wide-legged forward fold. Bring both toes a little bit closer to the center than your heels. Flick the sitting bones high, and then walk your hands to blocks or the mat. If you have the length and you want to walk out a little bit more, you can come down to your forearms, maybe even an inversion headstand if you have that in your practice. You should feel pretty loose now if you'd like to go to either side. Really the surrender of efforts portion of class. Bending through the knees, bring the heels closer inward towards your hips. Rise up. Just swing a little bit through this finishing goddess pose. Straightening all the way up. Inhale, arms towards the ceiling. Exhale, walk to the front of the mat. Close the eyes down. Start to pull all your attention back to the body as we finish up class. Inhale, hands overhead, come up to the toes. Slowly all the way down to a toe stand, like you're sliding down a wall. Hands come in. Dropping back slow or controlled or sloppy, all the way down to your back. Letting all of your breath start to normalize and fill up the full upper torso. Finding any final movements that would help you feel complete, like a supine spinal twist, supine bound angle. Ideally some form of extension as if a bridge or a wheel. Five breaths in whatever position you choose. And then finally allowing yourself to work into some sort of stationary resting posture. Use this time to let your brain normalize all those movements. Feel the polarity of intense, compressed postures to this effortless, open, relaxed position. Thank your body for trying something new today, even if one of those postures had a new sensation to it. Reinforce your ability to mentally choose physical progress. You witnessed it today at some point, found an aha position, an aha moment. Keep resting. Make a mental image of your body using your mind's eye, your third eye center. Just to take stock, scanning from head to toe, looking for any little deposits of tension or doubt. and kind of dedicating a little bit of this time. Doesn't have to be each day, but at least the mental exercise is there each day for doing this kind of scan, whether you're walking, whether you're taking 5 minutes off a break from work. That scan is just going to allow you to stay in touch with what's really happening in your body. And when you have that awareness, that quick ability to assess and alter, you will come back to your activities, to your workday, to your family, with just a little bit more to offer and with a safe boundary for yourself. Movement is yoga, breathing is yoga, thinking is yoga. So there's no rules here. It's just self-dedication to inquiry and mindful practice. Slowly working your way up to some type of easy seat, or turn the camera off and stay in your resting Shavasana pose for as long as you need. That is the true benefit of class. Once you are upright and feeling the symmetry between your neck side to side, your shoulders, your rib cage, maybe even a little bit through the hip creases and open sides of the knees after that deep hip flexion, rotation. Use that new awareness to push down into the ground, pulling everything up towards midline as you build from sacrum to crown. Bringing hands overhead, breath in. Exhale to heart. One more time, ceiling class. Exhale. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of the day and weekend until Monday. Namaste. If you have any questions, please message or call the office. Our hours for treating are completely open and all available on MindBody app. You can see what availability we have each day for new patients, follow-ups, private yoga sessions, mobile private yoga sessions, or chiropractic sessions if you're local. We just want to be accommodating and this safe space for your healing progress. Looking forward to hearing from you. Bye now.